Kembali lagi nih sama kita berdua. BTW Kak, kita belum kenalan loh sama yang pemirsa di rumah. Siapa dulu nih? Kamu dulu deh.
Aku.
Ya.
Jadi nama aku Tasha dan sebelah aku namanya kayak siapa?
Aku Iva.
Hai,
Di
Kak
sini
Iva.
kita sebagai apa ya Kak ya?
Kita sebagai apa yo? Udah jelas dong, ini kita sebagai pembawa acara. Nah, ngomong-ngomong, habis ini kita mau ngapain?
Habis ini kita bakalan lanjutkan proses penjuriannya ini Kak.
Oke.
Kira-kira lomba apa ya Kak ya? Tadi udah disebutin belum ya lomba apa?
Belum deh kayaknya ya.
Oh jadi
Atau mau disebutin sekarang?
yaudah kita sebutin aja lagi nih Kak. Jadi habis ini kita bakalan mengadakan proses penjurian lomba storytelling gitu. Nah ini tuh baru proses penjurian yang kedua ya Kak ya. Besok ada lagi ya? Besok ada lagi nih. Tapi besok itu untuk HW ya Kak ya. Untuk lomba-lomba dari HW. Kira-kira apa aja ya Kak?
HW itu ada Singapura, terus apa lagi?
Oh yel-yel, lomba yel-yel ya. Pokoknya seru-seru juga ya Kak ya, lombanya tuh banyak banget. Tuh, jadi buat kalian yang sekarang lagi nonton dan mungkin kalian lagi ikut lomba SMAMDA atau yel-yelnya juga, besok kalian wajib banget nih nonton proses penjuriannya.
Dan jangan lupa pantengin Instagram kita. Apa tuh Kak nama Instagramnya?
@tekstur2k21 dan jangan lupa buat di follow ya.
Dan pantengin terus Instagram kita biar kalian nggak ketinggalan.
Oke, ini langsung kita mulai aja ya Kak ya, proses
boleh.
penjurian storytellingnya.
Acara.
Buat peserta yang pertama yaitu dari SD Bina Pelita Bangsa School Bekasi, Najwa Aurora Putri.
Hello my friends, my name is Najwa Aurora. Today I want to tell you. Hello my friends, my name is Najwa Aurora. Today I want to tell you a local folklore from North Sumatra, with entitled The Legend of Lake Toba. Please enjoy. In a valley in Sumatra, there lived a farmer named Toba. He was a diligent farmer, but unfortunately, his harvest was not always bountiful, and he often went hungry. One day, he went fishing in the river. He waited for a long time and became desperate. When Toba just about to go home, suddenly something tugged on his fishing rod. Toba was excited and started reeling in his fishing rod. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa, that's a big fish, said Toba. Sure enough, at the end of the rod was a large gold scaly fish. Toba immediately brought the fish home to cook it. At home, Toba was disappointed because all of his firewood had been used up. There's no more firewood here. I better go look for some in the fields. Then he placed the fish inside the basin that was filled with water. When he got home, he was surprised. The fish had vanished, and instead there were pieces of gold inside the basin. Whoa! Where did the gold coins came from? And then he saw a beautiful woman combing her long hair in front of a mirror. Hey! Who are you? And what did you do to my fish? The woman looked at Toba and replied, Oh, and the incarnation of the fish you caught earlier. And the gold coins were my scales. Toba was confused. Then the woman said, "Come on, I will make you some food. You must be very hungry." Toba was amazed. The food that she cooked was very delicious. While eating the food, Toba thought to himself, if only she wanted to be my wife. Apparently, the woman could read Toba's mind. Then the woman said, "I would love to be your wife, but I have one condition. If we get married later, never bring up my origin as a fish. If you break the promise, I will not be the only one suffer from the consequences." Toba agreed. For him, it was an easy condition. Toba and the woman finally got married. Then his wife became pregnant. Not long after, a baby boy was born. Toba was very happy. He named his baby Samosir. Samosir was spoiled by his mother. He grew into a naughty, lazy child. All he did was play around. Toba tried to be patient with Samosir's behavior. Whenever Toba worked in the field, Samosir didn't want to help him. One day, his mother was busy working and she said, "Samosir, Samosir, Samosir, please bring this food for your father in the fields. I'm very busy." Samosir replied, "Oh, Mom, I don't want to bring it to father. I want to play with my friends." His mother became furious and yelled, "Samosir, don't be lazy. Just do what I say and go to the fields right now." Samosir then obeyed his mother. But on his way, Samosir played with his friends instead. After playing, he felt very hungry. I'm so hungry. I will eat father's lunch. Father won't mind if I eat his lunch, right? He then ate the food that was supposed to be for his father and left him only a little. In the fields, Toba could not wait any longer. He was starving. Moreover, he did not have time to have breakfast because a lot of work needed to be done that day. In the distance, he saw Samosir running to him. Toba then asked Samosir, "Hey Samosir, where have you been, Samosir? I've been waiting for a long time." But Samosir did not answer and immediately gave him the food. Toba was surprised to find only the leftovers. "What? Where's the food? Samosir, you're so naughty, you son of a fish!" He was very angry. Toba slapped Samosir until he cried loudly. Samosir then ran to the house crying, "Oh, Mother! Mother! Oh, Mother! Father said I'm the son of a fish. Is it true, Mother?" Toba's wife felt sad because Toba had broke the promise. Immediately, the sky turned dark and lightning struck. Bang! Bang! "Quick, Samosir, run to the hill before the flood comes." Samosir was very confused. He then asked, "What's happening, Mom? I'm very scared." "Quick, run to the hill now. There's no time to explain." Samosir obeyed his mother. He ran fast to the hill. A flood appeared from the river. Toba's wife suddenly jumped into the river and became a fish. Toba was shocked to see the flood coming towards him. He realized that he broke the promise to his wife. He didn't have time to escape. He drifted and sank to the flood. "Oh, help me!" The flood created a lake and was named Lake Toba. And the island in the middle of the lake was named after Samosir. So, the moral of the story is, if you have a promise, you should keep it. And as a child, we have to obey our parents. This is the end of my story. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Apalagi kayak tema-temanya itu kartun-kartun.
Iya, lucu banget tuh Kak. Apalagi tadi tuh menceritakan tentang Danau Toba ya. Totalitas banget gak sih? Apalagi pakai baju adatnya tuh tambah cantik banget. Oke, nih kita lanjut ke peserta selanjutnya ya Kak ya.
Iya. Dari SDN Grogol atas nama Dea Isabella.
Assalamualaikum. Hello everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Dea Isabella. I'm from SDN Grogol. Today, I want to deliver a story by the title Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. A long time ago, there lived a beautiful princess in a very big place. She is very beautiful with her blue eyes and long black hair. Her skin is white and smooth. Thus she was called Snow White. She had a stepmother who was always envious of her beauty. Her stepmother was also beautiful, and the magical mirror always said that every day and every time she asked, "Mirror on the wall, who is the most beautiful in this world?" "You are the most beautiful woman in this world, Majesty," the magical mirror answered. One day, the stepmother asked the magical mirror again, "Mirror on the wall, who is the most beautiful in this world?" "My queen, you are beautiful, but Snow White is more beautiful than you." The stepmother very angry. Then she exercised servant to kill Snow White. However, the servant didn't kill Snow White. He let her go by herself. "Go away, poor princess!" In the forest, Snow White was alone and afraid. She didn't know where she had to go. But suddenly, she saw a small cottage. Then she decided to go inside it. In the cottage, there are 7 beds. Snow White very tired and she fell asleep. In the afternoon, the 7 dwarfs went home. They were surprised to see a young woman there. One of them asked who she was. Snow White told them her sad story. Meanwhile, the stepmother asked the magical mirror again, "Who was beautiful in this world?" Snow White, who was living in small cottage, was the most beautiful. The stepmother was very angry. Then she disguised as an old woman who sold a bucket of apple and go to the cottage. The stepmother knocked the door and said, "Open the door, please. I want to sell some apple." "I can open the door and let anyone come in. The 7 dwarfs have for me," Snow White said. "Okay, I will give this apple to you," the stepmother said. Then Snow White opened the door and accepted the apple. Then she added, Therefore, Snow White was continuous with an apple beside her. In the evening, the 7 dwarfs went home. They were surprised and saw Snow White lying on the floor. Then they took her to bed. Every day, there was waited for miracle that Snow White would be awake. One day, there was a prince of a kingdom who saw a beautiful woman was lying on the bed. He was also asked the dwarfs what happened, and dwarfs told him. The prince was falling in love with her. Let me have Snow White, and I will give everything you want, the prince asked. After a long conversation, the seven dwarfs agreed. Then he kissed Snow White to show his intention. Then he asked Snow White to marry with him. Snow White said yes. Since that day, they happily ever after. That's the story of Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. From the story, we know that evil will surely be defeated. Don't be easily envious of what other people have, because envy are bad deeds. Thanks for your attention. Forgive me if there's a mistake. I hope this story can inspire us all. Stay safe and wassalamualaikum.
Wah, ini kostumnya lucu banget gak sih Kak? Ini ceritanya kayak tentang Snow White gitu gak sih? Udah kita lanjut ke peserta selanjutnya aja ya Kak ya.
Boleh.
Peserta selanjutnya tuh dari mana nih Kak kira-kira?
Dari SD mana, yo?
Ada yang tahu nggak ya dari SD mana? Dari SD Muhammadiyah 6 Surabaya atas nama Rizka Nur Rahma.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Honorable jurist, my name is Rizka Nurahma, student of SD Muhammadiyah 6 Surabaya. On this occasion, I will tell you the story about a paralyzed young man. This is the story. There was a paralyzed young man. His two legs were busted. He used a wheelchair to move. Most of people took a pity on him, and some of them disparaged him. When he was at school, all of his friends often underestimated him too. One day, when he was back home, he looked sad. He thought that his life was useless. He could not do anything without other people's help. He complained to his mom. Mom, I don't want to go to school anymore. It's better for me to stay at home than study at school. Nobody will embarrass me. He seemed hopeless. His mom tried to understand and motivated him to keep trying. She advised to ignore people mockery. But Mom, it's not easy. Look at me. My disability hinders me to progress. I cannot do anything on my condition. He looks hurt. Can you imagine how he feels, my friend? Of course, it was very hard. Again, his mom cheered him up and said that he could leave school after passing senior high school and improve his skill in gaming and computer join the next level of online marketing program. Actually, he didn't want to join the class again, but his mom always persuaded and encouraged him. Okay, Mom, I will not give up. I'll do my best. I'll try to be master on online marketing. He said confidently. Unpredictable. After learning online marketing program for some weeks, he was successful to have his first sale from Amazon. Alhamdulillah. Mom, come here. Look at this. I was successful to sell Amazon product and I get money from this. Mom, come here. Look at this. He was very happy and getting more excited to learn more about online marketing. Thanks for your support, Mom. I can be success right now because of you. I don't know what can I do if you don't encourage me to keep trying.
Mas.
Thanks, Mom.
Sama asam lo mesti ngupui.
He hugged his mom happily. Finally, the paralyzed young man be a successful online marketer. He could earn money more than 10 billion in a month. He was also invited to be a keynote speaker in many talk shows. He published his autobiography books entitled Kelemahanku Adalah Kekuatanku to inspire others. Well, my friend, from the story we can learn that everyone has the right to be successful. Our limitation is not obstacle to get our success, especially in this digital era. Technology facilitates us to do many things. The important thing is never give up. Always keep trying and don't forget to pray, because Allah will always show the way. Sorry for the mistakes and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Aku mau komentari.
Wah, keren banget dari
Iya.
Isabella.
Kayak suaranya tuh bener-bener bikin kita bangun gitu gak sih, Kak?
Iya.
Suaranya tuh ceria banget waktu menceritakan tuh. Oke, selanjutnya nih dari mana nih, Kak?
Dari SD Muhammadiyah 6 Surabaya. Oh, ternyata dari Mimnu Pucang Sidoarjo atas nama Naira Akila Rafifa.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, my friend.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello, my name is Naira from Mimnu Pucang Sidoarjo. This time I will tell you about Isra Mi'raj. Isra Mi'raj is described in Al-Quran Surah Al-Isra. Isra means the journey from the Haram Mosque in Mecca to Aqsa Mosque in Palestine. Mi'raj means the night journey made by by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam from the Aqsa Mosque to seven skies Sidratul Muntaha. Well, poorest friends who guess the story, this is the story. After the Isha prayer, Rasulullah lay down. Then come the angel Jibril with a vehicle called a buraq, shining white and running as fast as lightning. Isra begins with Allah's permission. Rasulullah journey from the Haram Mosque to Aqsa Mosque. Do you know the distance from the Haram Mosque to Aqsa Mosque? The distance is 2,500 kilometers in an instant. Even took, if you read a camel, it can take 1 moon. During the journey from the Haram Mosque to Aqsa Mosque, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was shown by the angel Jibril the punishment for a servant who have sinned according to this type of sin. Mi'raj start from the Aqsa Mosque to seven skies Sidratul Muntaha. In the first sky, Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam meet Prophet Adam alaihi salam. In the second sky, Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam meet Prophet Isa alaihi salam and Prophet Yahya alaihi salam. In the third sky, Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam meet Prophet Yusuf alaihi salam. In the fourth sky, Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam meet Prophet Idris alaihi salam. In the fifth sky, Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam meet Prophet Harun alaihi salam. In the sixth sky, Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam meet Prophet Musa alaihi salam. And in the seventh sky, Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam meet Prophet Ibrahim alaihi salam and meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Sidratul Muntaha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give order to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam for these people to pray fardu 50 times in one day and one night. After that, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam come down and meet Prophet Musa alaihi salam in the sixth sky. Prophet Musa alaihi salam asked to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comment? Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comment to pray fardu 50 times in one day and one night. Prophet Musa alaihi salam said, it is too much for your people. Finally, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam meet again with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for relief. So that prayer fardu become 5 times in one day and one night, namely subuh prayer, zuhur prayer, asar prayer, maghrib prayer, and isya prayer. So friend, don't leave fardu prayer 5 times a day. That is all the Isra Miraj story from me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Iya, saya sama dia. Waalaikumsalam.
Wah, keren banget nih.
Iya
Penampilan
nih.
dari Maira Akila Rafifa.
Iya nih Kak, apalagi ceritanya tuh tentang Isra Miraj gitu kan. Apalagi sekarang tuh banyak udah yang lupa tentang kisah-kisah kayak
Iya.
gitu. Oke, langsung aja deh ke peserta selanjutnya. Siapa tuh Kak peserta selanjutnya?
Nah, peserta selanjutnya ada dari SD Muhammadiyah 1 Tulungagung atas nama Elvita Rahma Umaya.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Honorable judges, my name is Elvita Rahma Umaya. I'm a student of Muhammadiyah 1 Tulungagung Elementary School. This time, I will tell you my story of the miracle of ants. There lived a poor family. There were father, mother, and a son whose name was Alif. Alif was 11 years old. He was an elementary school. Alif's father was a farmer with very small field. Meanwhile, his mother was a seller of snacks. Alif was smart, kind and diligent boy. He looked like other boys. He had many activities like his friends, such as studied, helped his parents, and played with his friends. Alif was also friendly. He loved playing with everyone. However, Alif never asked his parents' pocket of money. He also never complained whatever his parents gave to him, although it was only a few. His character made him different from his friends. Alif also realized that his family was poor. However, he was able to save some of his money to be shared with others. He often shared some of his money to the beggar that he met along the way he went to school. "Boy, would you give me some of drink? I'm very thirsty," asked the old beggar. Alif saw the old beggar who looked very thirsty. "Wait a minute, ma'am, I will buy it for you," Alif said. Then he went to the stall to buy a bottle of mineral water. "Here you are, ma'am," Alif said as gave the bottle to the old beggar. "Thank you very much, kid," said the old beggar. "You are welcome, ma'am," Alif answered. Then he continued to go to school. One noon, when the recess, the teacher saw there was Alif who sat alone in the class. "Alif, why don't you go to the canteen with your friends?" asked the teacher. "I'm not hungry, ma'am. I just want to sit here," Alif replied. The teacher understood what Alif said. Indeed, all of the teacher had now that Alif was so kind. One day, Alif was absent. Then the teacher asked where Alif was to the class. "Hi kids, anybody know where is Alif?" "Alif is sick, ma'am," said one of the students. "Okay, then I will see him after the school is over. But let's pray for Alif that he will get well soon." When the school was over, the teacher came to the Alif house. "Assalamualaikum," said the teacher as he knocked the door. "Waalaikumsalam," said Alif's mother as opened the door. "Oh, ma'am, let's come here and have a seat, ma'am," she continued. A few moments later, Alif's mother told about her son who had just fallen when he went home a week ago. And now he was in the terrible condition. He had broken leg and arm in that accident. Alif needed to be treated immediately. But it was too expensive. Meanwhile, his family was poor. His parents had no much money to pay the treatment. The next day, the teacher told to the class about Alif's condition. Several days later, Alif's parents were so surprised. They got a big help from one of Alif's grandparents. They would pay all of the Alif treatment charges. Alif and his parents were so happy. They thankful to the God and Alif's grandparents about the help. That's all for my story today. What message can you learn from my story, guys? Okay, so the message we can learn from my story is, if we give some of our wealth to help someone sincerely, the God will give us more than that. So, don't hesitate and don't be stingy to give alms. Thank you for your attention. I'm sorry for my mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Wah, lucu banget ya Kak ya. Ini masih kecil-kecil tapi udah pinter bahasa Inggris. Oke, peserta selanjutnya dari SD Muhammadiyah 1 Tulungagung atas nama Janita Parsa Yusuf.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Honorable judges, my name is Janeta Parsa Yusuf. I am the student of Muhammadiyah 1 Tulungagung Elementary School. Today, I am going to tell the story about the disabled swimmer. There was a girl whose name Kelly. Kelly was a cheerful and energetic girl. She loved swimming. She usually swam 3 times in a week. Even she has won the swimming competition many times. She wanted to be a swimming athlete one day. One day at noon, Kelly and her parents got in a terrible accident. When they got home from her uncle's party, Kelly must lost her legs in that accident. She was very sad. She only stayed in her bedroom all the day for a month. She often cried and blamed to the God. She was too ashamed about her condition. Why do these such fate come to me? What are my mistakes? She cried. She thought that she couldn't swim again and joined the competition as before. It made her more sad and got depressed. Her dream was broken. Looking at Kelly's condition made her parents were very sad. They always supported her daughter, but nothing could change. Kelly was still sad and didn't want to go out of her bedroom, even just sat on the living room. But her parents never gave up. Her mother often told her many stories about disabled athletes whose success in national or international competition. One of the stories was about Laura Aurelia. "My lovely daughter, look at this photo," said her mother while showed the photo to Kelly. "Do you know who she is?" asked her mother. Kelly only shook her head. "She is Laura Aurelia Dinda Sekar Devanti. She is a swimming athlete. If you look at this photo, what special things do you look from her? Do you think she is normal?" asked her mother. Yes, she likes other swimmers, Kelly said. Then her mother started telling the story. No, my girl. Indeed, at first she was a normal cook. But since that accident happened, she became a special. She slipped in the competition, which made her was paralyzed. As you are, she was very sad and got depression about the condition. But she could hold it. With the amount of support that she received, she was able to rise up again. And I believe that you are able to be a good swimmer like Laura. You could still swim and make your dreams come true. So, keep your spirit. Never give up with your condition. Make your dreams come true, my girl. Then, Kelly always thought about Laura's story. It could help her to receive her condition. One day, Kelly's mother offered her to practice swimming with another disabled. At first, she ignored it. But after she thought for a moment, she received it. She started to practice swimming again. In the first practice, Kelly was insecure. She thought that she couldn't do that. But her parents always supported her. She tried hard, and finally, she could swim again. She loved swimming again. In Monday morning, Kelly had opportunity to join in the national swimming competition. She was very happy. She kept swimming hard until she got gold medal in this competition. This was the first gold medal since she was in special condition. This medal was a big support for her to develop her ability. Now, Kelly became one of a good swimmer. She had got many gold, silver, and bronze medals in many competitions. Even she ever got a gold medal in the international swimming competition in British. That's all my story today. What message can you learn from my story, guys? Okay, the message you can learn from my story is everyone is able to do something. Limitations will not become obstacles to make our dreams come true. As long as we try hard, keep our spirit, and pray to the God, then God will help us and make our dreams come true. That's all for today. Thank you for your attention, and I am sorry for my mistakes. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Nah, itu tadi penampilan dari SD Muhammadiyah 1 Tulungagung. Keren banget nih. Selanjutnya dari SD mana, Kak?
Selanjutnya nih dari SD Muhammadiyah 9 Ngaban Tanggulangin atas nama Ayodia Konita.
Arigato. Penjurian.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ayodia Konita. I am from SD Muhammadiyah 9 Ngaban in the 4th grade. Today, I want to tell you a moral story with the title Money Can Buy Everything. Money can buy everything. There is a kid named Jack. He is the single son of a businessman. Jack loves his father very much. Jack is 10 years old now, and he misses the time when he and his father used to play outdoors for hours. Jack's father is a busy businessman. He generally comes home when Jack is already asleep and is off for the office before Jack wakes up. Jack yearns for his father's attention. He becomes sad every time he sees his father. However, one day Jack's father surprised him. He was home early that day. Jack ran to his father and hugged him tightly. Love you, Dad. It's a pleasant surprise. You are home. His father looked at him and said, "Yes, my son, my meeting was cancelled. But after a couple of hours, I have a flight." The news upset him. Then, when will you back? He asked his father in a low tone. His father replied, "Tomorrow evening." Jack was very sad and he sat on the bed. While his father was packing the suitcase with files, suddenly he asked his father, "Dad, how much do you earn in a year?" His father, busy in shuffling his files, said, "Why? That's a big amount. You won't understand." Jack waited a minute and asked again, "How much do you earn in an hour?" His father was confused by his son's question. He looked at him and replied, "Maybe $25 per hour? Why are you asking this?" Jack ran to his room and came back with the piggy bank and handed over the piggy bank to his father. "I have $50. Can you spare me hours? I want to book an appointment to go to the beach and have dinner with you tomorrow at evening. Can you please mark this on your schedule?" Our beloved father and mother, we are just a child who wants your time and caring. Please, instead of buying some expensive gift, give us your time. Give us some memories with you. I hope this story will give benefit for us, and thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wah, keren banget nih dari SD Muhammadiyah 9.
Oke, selanjutnya dari SD Muhammadiyah Program Khusus Kota Barat Surakarta, Aisyah Syafira.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everybody. How are you today? My name is Aisyah Syafira Putri Wibawa, and you can call me Shasha. I'm from Muhammadiyah PK Elementary School. Today, I want to tell you a story about the lonely dinosaur. Okay, let me begin the story. Many years ago, dinosaurs were the largest creatures on Earth. Some of them was very large, and the others, well, small. They also came in many different colors. Behind the fiery mountains was a valley in which one sunny day, the dinosaurs were playing a game of soccer. A new dinosaur that the other dinosaur had never seen before came walking by.
La 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 la.
He stopped and watched, and then he asked,
Could I play too?
all of the other dinosaurs looked at him. Together in one giant voice, they said, "No!" The reason they had to say no to him was because he looked different from the others. He had a long neck and he was green. None of them had ever heard or seen a long-necked green dinosaur. The new dinosaur was very sad because everyone said no to him. And they even called him names like Greenie. His feelings were hurt. Slowly he sat down and sadly watched the others play. Time went by, and then suddenly they all stopped playing soccer, and they all looked up. One of the dinosaurs had kicked their only ball into a tree. The ball was too high for them to reach, but it was not too high for the long-necked green dinosaur. He walked over and said to the other dinosaurs,
If I can get your ball down, will you let me play with you?
The other dinosaurs decided that it was a good idea. The long-necked green dinosaur reached up with his long neck and easily got the ball down. Once again, they began playing soccer. They had a great time playing soccer. The other dinosaurs said that they were sorry for not letting him play with them and calling him names. They all had learned a lesson that day. Even though others may look different, but we should accept them. We all have something special about us. The lonely dinosaur now had many friends, and they played in the valley for many more years. The end. Okay, maybe that's all I can tell you about the lonely dinosaur. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Bye-bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye. Mwah.
Waduh, keren banget nih
Dari mana Kak tadi?
dari SD Muhammadiyah Program Khusus Kota Barat Surakarta. Wih, jauh nih Kak dari Surakarta nih.
Iya.
Tapi niat banget ya. Backgroundnya tuh sampai kayak beneran di hutan loh tadi.
Jadi feel-nya tuh biar terasa.
Iya, biar.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is
Ini dari SD Muhammadiyah 2 Tulangan atas nama Genesius Harta Sach.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Genesius Hartansa Safrisyanto. Today, I would like to tell you about the story, and the title is The Magic Paintbrush. Rose loved drawing. She was very poor and didn't have pens or pencils. She drew pictures in the sand with sticks. One day, an old woman saw Rose and said, "Hello, here's a paintbrush and some paper for you." "Thank you," smiled Rose. She was so happy. What can I paint?" She thought. She looked around and saw a duck on the pond. "I know, I paint a duck." So she did. Suddenly, the duck flew off the paper and onto the pond. "Wow!" she said. "The magic paintbrush." Rose was a very kind girl. She painted a picture for everyone in her village. She painted a cow for the farmer, pencils for the teacher, and toys for all the children. The king heard about the magic paintbrush and sent a soldier to find Rose. "Come with me," said the soldier. "The king wants you to pay some money for him." "But he's already rich. I only pay to help poor people." But the nasty soldier took Rose to the king. "Paint me a tree with lots of money on it." Rose was brave and said, "No!" So the king sent her to prison. But Rose painted a key for the door and a horse to help her escape. The king chased after her. So she painted a big hole and splat. The king fell in. Today, Rose only uses the magic paintbrush to help people who really need help. And the moral is, don't forget to make other people happy. That's all from me. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Goodbye.
Nah, itu tadi penampilan dari SD Muhammadiyah 2 Tulangan. Selanjutnya, dari mana nih, Kak? Selanjutnya tuh dari SD ITA Nur Cikarang atas nama Munis Isya Aura.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Monisha Shaurana Fazena. Now I want to tell you about an ass with a lion skin. An ass found a lion skin left in the forest by a hunter. He dressed himself in it and he amused himself by hiding in a thicket and rushing out suddenly at the animals who passed that way. This ass was so pleased to see the animals running away from him, just as if he were King Lion himself that he could not keep from expressing his delight by a loud hairspray of fox who ran with the rest, stopped short as soon as he heard the voice. Approaching the ass, he said with a laugh, "If you had kept your mouth shut, you might frighten me too. But you gave yourself get away with a silly bray. A fool may deserve by his dress and appearance, but his word will soon show what he really." Thank you for your attention. Goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Baik, itu tadi karya dari SD Muhammadiyah Program Khusus Kota Barat. Baik, itu tadi penampilan dari SDIT Anur Cikarang atas nama Munis Isyaura. Untuk selanjutnya yaitu Al-Khareza Ahmad Ar-Railis dari SD Muhammadiyah 9 Ngabat.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Reza. I am from SD Muhammadiyah 9 Ngaban in the second grade. Today I want to tell you a moral story with the title, Thanks God for what you have. Thanks God for what you have. This is a story of a peacock and a nightingale who live in a jungle. The peacock was very happy to have his beautiful, colorful body. But one day, he saw a nightingale singing in the trees. He heard her for the first time. He was mesmerized by the voice of the nightingale. The peacock sat down under the tree and listened to the nightingale. But then some tears start to fall down her face. He gets upset and look up at the sky and say, "Why God, why you didn't give me a sweet voice?" Just that moment, the nightingale came down from the tree and asked the peacock, "What happened, brother? What are you crying?" The peacock wiping the tears from his cheek and looked up to the nightingale and said, "Oh, brother, you think I am lucky, but when people listen to my voice and find me a teeny little bird who is not beautiful, they get disappointed. Now thanks, brother, although I have a sweet voice, but not a beautiful body like you. But still, daily I sing happily." The peacock now thinks that, and thanks God for giving me a sweet voice. The peacock now thinks that, "Yes, sister, I think you are right. I should not complain about this my pet voice. And thanks God for giving me a beautiful body." From that day, he saw a nightingale. From that day, the nightingale never complains about his voice. My beloved friends, we should not complain about what we don't have. But still, my beloved friends, we should not complain about what we don't have. But always say, Alhamdulillah, and thanks God for what we have. Thank you for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bapaknya SMP Muhammadiyah. Iya. Wah, ini bagus nih Kak, masih kecil tapi udah bahasa Inggrisnya tuh udah fasih, udah pinter. Wah ini patut dicontoh nih. Oke, untuk peserta selanjutnya siapa nih Kak?
Dari SMP Muhammadiyah 9 Boarding School Tanggulangin atas nama Harela Dias, Aiden Taufik.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi guys, how are you all today? My name is Harold Diaz from SMP Muhammadiyah 9 Boarding School Tanggulangin Sidoarjo. And today I have a story, which I can say that it was a real story. The story is about a kid and a magic book. The story began when a 3-year-old kid had to join his parent as scholarship holder to study Australia for 2 years. As a 3-year-old kid, he had a chance to enroll a preschool, which was an educational childcare for younger children before enrolling a formal school like kindergarten or primary school. So, in the primary school, he played a lot as well as learned many things, including learning to understand English for the first time. Wait, before I continue, let me tell you something. That having a preschool in English country is not as joy as you imagine. Imagine you had no friends from your own country who cannot understand your language. So this 3-year-old kid at that time had to struggle learning his own native language as well as English, which he hadn't used before. But you know, there was a theory said that kids can learn new language faster than adults. The most activities he loves in the preschool is the storytime activities. Sometimes the teacher gave them the same stories every day, but most of the time they presented a new story. Even the storybook remains the same. Every day, his parents picked the kid up from the school and always asked him what he had from the preschool this morning. And enthusiastically, he told them about the storytime activities. One day, his parents bought a book. It was an exact book he liked. It was the dinosaur book. Since he wasn't able to read, but his parents, his dad or his mother also read the book for him. For your information, the book was not really thick. It was quite thin. This thin, around 15 to 20 pages. Every night, his parents always gave him a story about various kinds of dinosaurs. There are Spinosaurus, Stegosaurus, Tarbosaurus, oh yeah, and he remembered all of them since his parents always read the book every night for him, and he loved so much to hear it. However, they can read different stories every night, even the book remains the same thin dinosaur book. One night, his dad told him a story about a very cool Stegosaurus. Its body is huge, and Dad says that Stegosaurus loves so much to eat vegetables, such as spinach and carrots. So, the kid fell in love with the Stegosaurus and always wanted to eat vegetables, such as spinach and carrots as well, just like Stegosaurus, right? Before going to sleep, the kid always had another story about dinosaur, and this time it was Tarbosaurus. Do you know Tarbosaurus? Yes, it is the friend of Tyrannosaurus Rex or T-Rex. So, Tarbosaurus is a brave dinosaur. He had sharp teeth and strong claws. And Dad says that he loves his mother so much. And he loves so much to listen to his mother. The kid listened to the story that been read by Dad while looking at the picture. He wished he can be like his dad that can read. So, the kid can read a very good story and share it to his friends. Mother also ever read the story about the dinosaur too. And this time, she reads about the baryonyx. I know, some of you know about this dinosaur. It is a fast-running dinosaur. And then, baryonyx looks like a speed-running crocodile. It has a sharp teeth, and he also had a strong claws too. He loves so much to eat fishes. And Mom said that baryonyx has a lot of dinosaur siblings and friends. And once again, baryonyx and his siblings always take care of each other and always loves each other. Several years later, the kid was back to Indonesia, and now he was in the primary school. Of course, he can read already. One night, the kid found the book, the old dinosaur book in the old box, which his parents used to read when he was 3 years old. It was the same book, the same dinosaur book. After the kid read the book, it turned out that the story has subsided. The story has changed, but the pictures are the same. There are no stories about a very cold Stegosaurus. His body is huge, and he remembered that Dad said that Stegosaurus love to eat vegetables, such as spinach and carrots as well. But it's not there. There are no stories about Tarbosaurus, which he had a large head and a long tail, a sharp teeth, and he loves his mother, he listens to his mother. There are no stories about Baryonyx, that he loves to eat fish, and he has a lot of siblings and friends. There are only a little simple dinosaur stories, but the picture is still the same. The kid asked it to his dad and his mother. Dad, Mom, how can this storybook become like this? I remember you guys ever read me a lot of story about dinosaur, but why it's not here? I think the book was changed, but the book it is the same. But it is the same dinosaur book. Dad smiled to the kid and said, I think you can call it is a magic book. The story has already entered here, said his father, holding the kid's hand to his chest and said, I hope you can keep the story in here, in your heart, and always be a good boy. And that's the end of the story. For those who didn't understand about this magic book, the parent made up the story, and the kid eventually understand the story. And now he shared the story in front of you guys today. Yes, I am actually the kid, and I still have the story about the magic book with me. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Oke, hai Kak, halo. Wah ini teman-teman kenal ini ada MC baru nih. Siapa tuh Kak? Kenalan dulu dong.
Nama saya Sagira Safa. BTW tadi Kak Tasanya itu ada halangan nih Kak, makanya nggak bisa.
Oh makanya diganti oleh sama Kak Saira Safa.
BTW Kak, tadi tuh dari jenjang berapa sih?
Itu tuh dari anak SMP tau loh Kak.
Ya Allah bagus banget gak sih?
Iya kayak bahasa Inggrisnya tuh wah banget udah.
Speech-nya bener-bener bagus
Iya, aku aja sampai kalah loh.
Kayaknya kita kalah energik deh dari
Iya
dia.
bener banget dong.
Ini masih siang udah pada semangatnya luntur apa gimana nih?
Waduh masih semangat dong Kak, panitianya aja masih pada semangat. Iya gak sih?
Iya.
Oke kita langsung ke peserta selanjutnya aja ya Kak. Ini dari SMAMDA Muhammadiyah 4 Surabaya atas nama Gita Indah Lestari.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening everyone. How are you this evening? I hope all of you have a great day today. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Gita Indah Lestari from SMAMDA Muhammadiyah 4 Surabaya. On this occasion, I want to tell you a story from Italy with the title Pinocchio. So yeah, just keep watching. Once there was a carpenter called Geppetto. He made a wooden puppet and called him Pinocchio. How nice it will be if it were a real baby. That night, a good fairy had him and made his wish to become real. A what wooden maid, how knew you could sew? She made him magic spell touching Pinocchio with her magic wand. Pinocchio, be always a good, brave, and selfish boy, said the fairy, and one day you'll be a real boy. Then she addressed the Jimmy Cricket. I appoint you guide and counselor of Pinocchio, she added, before disappearing in 1,000 flashes of light. Imagine the delight of Geppetto when he discovered that his little man of wood, bold mouth and tall. The next morning, he sent him to school like a real boy. Goodbye, son, come back soon. Pinocchio was a little naughty, so he's disobeying. Her father went to the Triple Eater, a puppeteer who promised to make him famous. He enjoyed a lot of singing and dancing with other puppets. But when the show was over, Eater shut him in a cage. Suddenly there appeared the Blue Fairy. "Why didn't you go to school?" she asked. Pinocchio answered with a lie, and his nose began to grow. Only when he told the truth the fairy fed him and his nose was back to normal. On the way home, Pinocchio saw a coach load of kids cheering. The cookman told him that he was directed to Thailand, where the kids could do whatever they wanted. "Pinocchio, come back!" Jimmy Cricket ran after him. But the puppet would not listen to him. There Pinocchio met a new boy, Kategori, but he soon discovered that in Thailand the lazy and rude kids were turned into donkeys. When it began to spring to ears and long tail, Pinocchio ran desperately, followed by his faithful friend. Jimmy Cricket together then threatened the house of Geppetto, but they found none. Who knows what had happened to him? At the moment, a dove brought him a message. While Geppetto was looking for Pinocchio everywhere, he was swallowed by a whale and now he was his prisoner. "I want to save him," decided the puppet. Arriving at the sea, he dived and dived till he found his father in the belly of the whale. But how to get out of there? So he lit a fire, and the smoke made the whale sneeze so strong that she opened its mouth. Pinocchio and Geppetto expedited on a raft. The puppet helped his father to swim in the middle of the wave, and they finally reached the shore. But as soon as they arrived, Pinocchio, for the great effort, fainted. Grief-stricken, Geppetto took him home. The blue fairy awoke him, and as promised, rewarded his courage and his goodness by transforming Pinocchio into a real boy. The end. The moral value is, we are not to lie in order you become a better person and obedient to parents. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Udah. Ini ya, MTS 1 Banyuwangi ya. Wah, bagus banget gak sih Kak? Ini
Ceritanya
juga
tentang Pinocchio ya?
Iya, terus lucu banget nih, kayak nggak kalah sama peserta-peserta yang lain nih Kak.
Itu kan kayak cerita kita dulu masa kecil,
Iya.
kita jadi ingat lagi.
Iya, oke, untuk peserta selanjutnya siapa nih Kak?
Eva,
Iya.
selanjutnya itu ada dari MTS Negeri 1 Banyuwangi atas nama Marcella Bernanda Berliana Putri.
Kampung nan jauh di mata, gunung sangsai berkuliling, takkan ajut kawan yang lama, sangke basuh yang suliang. Hello and hi everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Marcella Bernanda Berliana Putri, and I'm the student of MSN 1 Banyuwangi. In this classification, I'm going to tell you a very popular folklore from Sumatra Island. It tells about the origin of a popular tribe which is called today as Minangkabau. Well, just relax, have a seat, and don't go anywhere. Here is the legend of Minangkabau. Ladies and gentlemen, happy watching. Once upon a time, there was a kingdom in West Sumatra. The people worked as farmers and they lived happily. In West Sumatra, the land was fertile and the weather was always beautiful. The people also had a wise king. They loved their king because he always protected his people. At that time, their happy lives were suddenly disturbed.
Majapahit, a big and strong kingdom from Java Island, would attack them. The people were so scared and they were so restless. And then they went to the king to talk about it. The king tried to calm them down. "Oh, my people, accept the peace. Don't worry, I know that Majapahit has many soldiers and they are also great in war. If we fight them, maybe lose. But I have an idea to beat them. Well, we can challenge them to a buffalo fight. If their buffalo dies, we win. But if our buffalo dies, they will win. So we have to make sure that our buffalo will win," said the king. "But how am I see? How?" asked the people. The king just smiled and said, "Calm down, my people, calm down. All we need is a strong baby buffalo." "Ah, yeah, that's a brilliant idea, Mama G," yelled the people happily. Not long after that, the king ordered his people to find the strongest baby buffalo. Then the strong baby buffalo was separated from his mother. They didn't give the baby buffalo any food for several days. And of course, the baby buffalo was very hungry. And the baby buffalo cried and cried, asking for food. And then the king took the sharp knife and sawed them strongly to the baby buffalo's farm. Wow! What a good strategy, ladies and gentlemen! The next morning, the village guard delivered a big announcement to the people. "Attention, attention! The king is holding a buffalo battle with Majapahit. Everybody, come! Watch! Support! And witness the victory of our buffalo! We will beat Majapahit!" Hey, what's up, bro? There's a buffalo battlefield. Let's go to the battle center. Come on. Yes, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, now it was the time for the buffalo battle. And everyone gathered on the battlefield. Keeping up, our buffalo will win. Come on, bro. Beat Majapahit and send them home. Beat them, beat them, beat them. Ooh. Soon, Majapahit soldier released a big and white buffalo out of his cage. And everyone was surprised with the size of the buffalo. Wow! What a big buffalo! Yeah! What a strong buffalo! Said the people. Later, when some of the soldiers released their baby buffalo, push, push, push. No! Say this! Majapahit soldiers were laughing. A baby buffalo? Are you kidding? You want to win with this baby? Well, everyone, do you know what was happening then? Okay, don't worry, let's continue the story. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Majapahit soldiers didn't know that the hungry baby buffalo had two sharp knives on the horn. Then, the baby buffalo ran westward to the big buffalo. And went straight to the big buffalo's stomach to find it. Buffalo won. That's why we can see that nowadays the rules of the houses in West Sumatra and the traditional habits of the women in West Sumatra are similar to the form of buffalo swear. Ladies and gentlemen, until now, Minangkabau, with its love in nature and local culture, has been growing into a potential tourism in West Sumatra. Panduduknya nan elok nan suka bergotong royong, sakit sanang samu dirasuk, dan takkan ajukan kuat. Well, everybody, from the story we can learn that there is always a solution for every problem. So, never lose your hope. And the most important thing is, never underestimate any simple things, because pride and arrogance will bring you to your downfall. In this era of advanced technology, let us all strengthen our nationalism by loving and preserving our local culture more. And with the spirit of Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, let's build up the power of our unity, because together we can, and together we'll be outstanding, right? United we stand, divided before. Long live Indonesia! Okay, I think that's all by my story today. Thank you very much for your beautiful and kind attention. My name is Brilliant. Thanks for watching and goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waduh, Kak Iva sampai kagum banget nih kayaknya.
Iya nih Kak, bagus banget gak sih dari caranya dia?
totalitas ya, Kak, ya.
Iya, bener banget. Kostum-kostumnya tuh.
Ada
Selanjutnya
dari mana
nih
nih, Kak?
ada dari MTSN 3 Trenggalek nih, atas nama Siti Muazifa.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everybody. How are you today? I hope all of you have a great day today. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ziva. I'm a delegation of State Islamic Junior High School of Trenggalek. Today, I want to tell you a story about the lion and his future. Do you know my story? Aha! In my story, I'm describing the story of a lion. He was very lucky because he got a golden ticket to his future. The lion named Willie. Once upon a time, Willie woke up too late. He realized that it was Sunday. He intended to do nothing. He tried to sleep again, but his brain asked him to eat something. He got up slowly from the bed. Please, Hank, take the food from the refrigerator. I think my feet don't want to move a bit. Willie pleaded. Unfortunately, he didn't find anything. It was an empty refrigerator after all. I want chocolate. I think it will be yummy to him. He decided to open his eyes wider, change his clothes, and walk his feet to the shop near his house. This chocolate is so special. It is made by sophisticated professor named Mr. Sophie. Now, Wow! You will be very happy if you find a golden ticket in this chocolate bar, said the shopkeeper. Willie felt so excited to open the chocolate. Willie walked back home. He wanted to open the chocolate with his family. He explained to his family that it would make his life change. He would be invited to the special place if he found the golden ticket. Willie opened the chocolate carefully and he found the golden ticket. He jumped, hugged his mother and screamed, "Wonderful! This is the day my new life begins." He was really happy. The next day, he went to script class and was picked up by Robert. He arrived in a sophisticated room. He saw many technologies around him. The robot said,
To my right, there is a glass. It is not only a glass. It can bring you to the future or to your past. It can show you happiness or suffering.
Willie was very curious. He asked the robot to try to see his past. The robot poured water into the glass. And a minute later, the water was still clear. It didn't change to be dark. It meant that Willie's past was happy. Willie is asked to touch the glass and BAM! He came to the place where his parents were young. They live in a small house with a beautiful view. They love Willie very much. They live happily. Willie went back to the script class by touching his nose and closed his eyes. Willie was very wondered for his future. Then he went to the future. However, he remembered that the creator changed into dark in a minute. He was worrying. He arrived in his future. He saw the dark sky. He met an old poor man. He realized that it was his father. He cried because his mother had died. Willie went back to the script place. Said Willie. Willie was delivered back to his house by the robot. He was very sad. Thanks, robot. It was a very beautiful journey. I know I will respect every time with my parents. Every moment with them is so special. Cry, Willie. Moral value. Love your parents as they love you all the lives, and respect the time you have with them. Mother and father are like lamp as a light for life, like a candlelight that is always faithfully illuminating every street corner. And this is spirit that becomes to stay strong to keep moving forward. If you're lucky enough to have parents still alive on this planet, give them a call. Don't text and don't email. Hear them talk as long as they want you to. That's all the story of the lion and his future. Thank you. Thank you so much for your nice attention. And finally, I'd like to say goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wah, ini energik banget gak sih Kak? Terus
super
juga
ekspresif ya Kak ya.
Iya bener banget, apalagi seragamnya tuh bikin tambah semangat. Oke, selanjutnya dari mana nih Kak?
Selanjutnya dari SMP Muhammadiyah 4 Surabaya nih Kak Iva. Dari Lulu Balkis.
Oke.
Kok dari ya? Gugup banget ya Allah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, I'm Lulu Balkis. I'm 8th grade from SMB Muhammadiyah 4 Surabaya. Today I'll be telling you a story of Boo Boo the grumpy cat. So let's just get right into it. Boo Boo the grumpy cat. Boo Boo is a grumpy cat. Boo Boo is easily mad. Boo Boo clawed his friends because they borrow Boo Boo's toys. Boo Boo also clawed a little bird that's singing in the window. Boo Boo even clawed a butterfly that's flying on his nose. Boo Boo always clawing someone when he's angry. And everyone who got clawed by Boo Boo told him, Boo Boo, it hurts. But Boo Boo doesn't care at all. And one day, Boo Boo gets bored. Boo Boo wants to play, but he's alone. So he asks someone to play with him, but sadly, no one wants to play with Boo Boo. Everyone's scared of Boo Boo. He was such a grumpy cat. Then Boo Boo cried because no one wants to play with Boo Boo. Then Boo Boo realized he always acts so grumpy to everyone. Now Boo Boo felt guilty. I'm sorry, guys. Please forgive me. I promise I won't do it again. Boo Boo apologized. It's fine, Boo Boo. But remember, don't do it again. We have to be nice to everyone, Boo Boo's friend said. After that, Boo Boo and his friends happily played together again and being a good friend. And now, Boo Boo is not a grumpy cat anymore. The end. So that's the story of Boo Boo, the grumpy cat. And moral of the story is, don't be mean or no one will like you. So please be nice to everyone. That's it. Thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye.
Gemes banget Kak Iva.
Iya tuh ekspresinya tuh loh Kak, ya Allah lucu
Kakak
banget.
masih SMP udah fasih banget.
Iya bahasa Inggrisnya tuh waduh parah
Selanjutnya
banget.
nih Kak Iva dari siapa nih?
Selanjutnya nih ada dari SMPN 1 Duku Puntang atas nama Anissa Khonsa Royhana.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Anissa Khonsa Royhana and I'm from Duku Puntang 1 Junior High School, Cirebon, West Java. In these occasions, I want to tell you a legend story about a famous lake in North Sumatra. It's a legend story of Toba Lake. In a valley in Sumatra, there lived a farmer. His name is Toba. One day, Toba went fishing in the river. In the river, he waited a long time and became desperate. Oh, I got fish in here. And when Toba wanted to go home, suddenly something took on his fishing line. Toba was excited and started filling in his fishing line. Wow, there's a beautiful fish. Toba immediately brought the fish to home to cook it. At home, Toba was disappointed because all of his firewood has been used up. Oh, there's no firewood here. I better go look for some in the field. Then, Toba placed the fish inside the bucket while he went to the field to collect the firewood. I will eat well today. Then Toba lit the fire, but when he wanted to take his fish, he was surprised. The fish had vanished, and instead there were pieces of gold inside the bucket. Where is my fish? And whose gold is this? Then, when Toba opened the door of his room, again he was surprised. There's a woman who combing her hair in front of a mirror. Hey, who are you? I'm the incarnation of your fish we caught earlier. The golden pieces were my scalp. Oh, what? I'm cursed to be a fish, but thank you. Now the curse has gone. By the way, let's go to the kitchen. I'll make you some food. You must be hungry, right? After that day, every day Toba was accompanied by the woman until one day he asked the woman to get married with him. But the woman gave him a requirement. If we get married later, never be at the origin as a fish. I will not be the only one to suffer the consequence if you break this agreement. Okay. And then finally, Toba and the woman get married. Toba was working so hard in the field to fulfill their daily needs. Then his wife became pregnant. Not long after, a baby boy was born. Toba named him Samusir. A few years later, the mother spoiled the boy too much. No wonder Samusir became a spoiled child. He didn't want to help his father in the field. He just only stayed at home or played with his friend instead. Then his mother one day told to Samusir to bring the lunch for his father who worked in a farm. At first, Samusir refused, but his mother continued to convince him. And finally, Samusir agreed. Alright, Mom, I will deliver this food to Father. But on his way, Samusir just played with his friend instead. After playing, he felt hungry. Oh, I'm starving. I will eat this food. Samusir then ate the food that was supposed to be for his father and left him only the little. In the farm, Toba couldn't wait any longer. He was starving. Moreover, he didn't have time to breakfast because a lot of his work must be done that day. In the distance, Samusir came running. Where you have been, Samusir? Daddy has been waiting for you for a long time. Samusir didn't answer,
and gave him the food. But Toba was surprised because only the leftover in the lunchbox. Samosia, did you even get this food? Your behavior is out of line, you little fish. Toba was angry at Samosia. Without realizing he had spoken of the restrictions his wife had previously warned him of. Then Samosia cried and ran to his house. At house, Samosia told everything to his mother. Mother, Father said I am the child of a witch, Mom. Is it true, Mom? What? Toba's wife felt sad because Toba had brought up her origin as a fish. Then she told Samosia to run up to the hill. Samosia, quick, run up to the hill, son, before the flood coming. Samosia obeyed her. Not long after, immediately the sky was dark and the lightning struck. A flood appeared from the river. Toba's wife suddenly jumped towards the tide and became a fish again. Toba, who was working in the farm, was shocked to see the flood coming toward him. He didn't time to have escaped, and then Toba drifted and sank into the flood. Soon, the surge flooded entire valley and left only the middle of the hill where Samosia was hidden. The flood became a lake, and Samosia became an island. That's why the lake is called Toba Lake, and the island in the middle is called Samosia Island. And this is the end of the story. So, from this story, we can learn that if we break a promise, we will break a lot of everything. I think it's enough, everyone. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Keren banget nih Kak Iva, gara-gara peserta tadi.
Iya, terus bajunya juga wow banget ya sih Kak. Iya.
Mana dari kisah tadi kita jadi tahu tentang Danau Toba.
Iya, bener banget. Oke, yang peserta selanjutnya ini ada SMPN 1 Candi Sidoarjo atas nama Erlin Dwi Rahmawati.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Erlin Dwi Rahmawati. You can call me Erlin. In this occasion, I'll tell you a story about the hardest boy. Once upon a time, there was an old king who was very sad because he did not have a boy as a successor to his throne. The king finally decided to adopt a son who will be a prince. Then, the king had an announcement to all the boys in his kingdom that he was looking for someone to be adopted as his son. All the boys in the country got together to meet the king. The king became confused because there were many boys proposed themselves as a potential prince. Then he thought so hard to find a boy who deserved to be a prince. Finally, the king got an idea. He distributed seeds to all the boys. Then he said that anyone who could grow the seeds into a beautiful flowers would become the prince. All the boys in the country planted and cared the seeds carefully, including a boy named Yongtu. He planted seed well. He also watered and gave fertilizer to the seeds every day. But after some time, he wondered why the seed didn't grow into a plant. He was almost disappointed at the condition. One of his friends named Barkam came and asked, "Why your seed didn't grow into a plant?" "I don't know. I had taken care of the seed well," answered young two. Parka matched him and showed his seeds that grows into a beautiful flower. "Mine has grown and has a beautiful flower. I will be the successor of this kingdom," said Parka with arrogance. Shortly after that, the election of the prince arrived. All the boys in the country lined up and wore their best clothes. They also carried pots containing plants with beautiful flowers. Then the king approached them one by one to choose his successor candidate. But the king was very sad when he saw all the boys brought plants with beautiful flowers. When he almost disappointed, he saw a boy in the back row holding an empty flower pot. The king approached the boy and asked, "Why are you carrying a pot and a plant flower?" "I don't know. I had taken care of the seed well," answered the boy and cried. The king smiled at him. "This is my adopted son who will be a prince," said the king to the people. All the boys were shocked. They asked the king, "Why did my lord choose the boy without flower? Did not you want the child who can grow the most beautiful flower?" "I sent you the seed that has been burnt. Those seeds shall not grow into a plant," the king answered. Then we are impressed with the king. In fact, the king didn't want the boy who could grow the most beautiful flower. He chose someone who is honest. All the boys in the country replaced the seed given by the king to another seeds. However, Young Tu didn't do that because he was honest. Therefore, the king chose him as the prince. The moral value of the story is honesty is the most important thing to achieve. No legacy is so rich as honesty. Okay, my friends, that's all the story of the honest boy. Thank you for your great attention. Let's say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
SMP Muhammadiyah. Satu Gresik.
Kamu yang mulai, Tash.
Iya. Waduh, bagus banget gak sih Kak cara omongannya tadi
cara
tuh?
dia explain-nya ya.
Iya, bener
kita
banget.
jadi paham tuh sama cerita dia.
Betul banget.
Selanjutnya nih Sobat Tekstur dari SMP Muhammadiyah 1 Gresik atas nama Kiara Inggita Belva Bergman.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, I'm Kiara Inggita Belva Bergman from SMP Muhammadiyah 1 Gresik. I will tell you the story about the legend of Tangkuban Perahu. Once upon a time in West Java, there lived a wise king who had a beautiful daughter. Her name was Dayang Sumbi. She liked weaving very much. One day, she was weaving a cloth. Suddenly, one of her tools fell to the ground. She was very tired at the time, so she was too lazy to take it. Then she just shouted out loud, "Anybody there? Bring me my tool. I will give you a special present. If you are female, I will consider you as my sister. If you are male, I will marry you." Suddenly, a male dog named Tumang came. He broke her falling tool. Dayang Sumbi was very surprised. She regretted her words, but she could not deny it. So she had to marry Tumang and leave her father. Then they lived in a small village. Several months later, they had a son. His name was Sangkuriang. He was a handsome and healthy boy. Sangkuriang liked hunting very much. He often went hunting to the wood using his arrow. When he went hunting, Tumang always be with him. One day, Dayang Sumbi want to eat deer's heart. Sangkuriang, will you hunt for a deer today? I want to eat deer's heart so much, asked Dayang Sumbi. Of course, Mom. Whatever you want, I will give it for you, replied Sangkuriang. Tumang, where are you? Come on, we have to hunt for a deer. Then Sangkuriang went to the wood with his arrow and his faithful dog, Tumang. But after several days in the wood, Sangkuriang could not find any deer. They were all desperate. Sangkuriang was exhausted and desperate. Oh good, we can't find a deer. I don't want to disappoint my mom. Oh, I know. Sangkuriang that called Tumang and killed him. He did not know that Tumang was his father. At home, he gave Tumang hurt to her mother. Sangkuriang, are you sure it's a deer's heart? You can lie to me. It is Tumang's heart, isn't it? Why did you kill him? Said Dayang Sumbi, full of anger. She hit Sangkuriang at his head. Sangkuriang was wounded. There was a scar in his head. She also replied to her son. Then Sangkuriang left her mother in sadness. Many years passed and Sangkuriang became a strong young man. He wandered everywhere. One day, he arrived at his own village, but he did not realize it. There, he met Dayang Sumbi. At the time, Dayang Sumbi was given an natural beauty by God, so she stayed young forever. Both of them did not know each other, so they fell in love and decided to marry. But then Dayang Sumbi recognized a scar on Sangkuriang's head. Sangkuriang, why there is a scar on your head? Asked Dayang Sumbi. Oh, when I was a child, my mom hit me on my head, replied him. Dayang Sumbi was very shocked. She knew that Sangkuriang was his son. It was impossible. It was impossible for them to marry. She told him, but he did not believe her. Sangkuriang that wished they are married soon. Then Dayang Sumbi gave him a very difficult condition. Sangkuriang, if you want to marry me, I have a condition for you. I want to build a lake and big boat in one night. I need them for our honeymoon. Can you do that? What? Impossible. But it's okay. For you, I will do it. I can do that. Sangkuriang agreed. With the help of genies and spirits, Sangkuriang tried to build them. By midnight, he had finished the lake by building a dam in Citarum River. Then he started building the boat. It was almost done when he nearly finished it. Meanwhile, Dayang Sumbi kept watching on them. She was very worried when she noticed, so she made a light in the east. Whew, troops, stop your works. It's already down. The sun will stop to rise. Quickly, go home, said the chair of the genies. They left Sangkuriang alone. Sangkuriang, you can finish my condition. It means that you can marry me, you know, said Dayang Sumbi. You cheated! You make the lag so that my troops go. Because of that, I could not fulfill your condition, said Sangkuriang. So he was very angry. So he kicked the boat, then the boat turned out to be Mount Tangkuban Perahu. It means that boat upside down. From a distance, it looked like boat upside down. Well, the moral value of this story is think before act. No matter what happened, always be a honest person. Because every time you lie, you will continue to lie to cover up your lie. Thanks for your attention. See you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ternyata Sangkuriang itu kayak gitu ya Kak ya.
Iya, ceritanya ternyata bagus juga sih Kak untuk mengedukasi para anak-anak yang di sana kan.
Mana pakai alat peraga bikin kita makin paham.
Iya, bener banget tuh Kak. Oke, selanjutnya nih dari SMP Muhammadiyah 1 Gresik juga nih Kak. Namanya Sabrina Ubaid.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, I am Sabrina from SMP Muhammadiyah 1 Gresik. I will tell you a story about Malin Kundang. Once upon a time, on the north coast of Sumatra, lived a poor woman and her son. The boy was called Malin Kundang. They didn't earn much as fishing was their only source of income. Malin Kundang grew up as a skillful young boy. He always helped his mother to earn some money. However, as they were only fishermen's helper, they still lived in poverty. Mother, what if I sails overseas? Asked Malin Kundang one day to his mother. Her mother didn't agree, but Malin Kundang had made up his mind. Mother, if I stay here, I'll always be a poor man. I want to be a successful person, urged Malin Kundang. His mother wiped her tears. If you really want to go, I can't stop you. I could only pray to God for you to gain success in life, said my mother wisely. But promise me you'll come home. In the next morning, Malin Kundang was ready to go. 3 days ago, he met the successful ship's crew. Malin was offered to join him. Take a good care of yourself, son, said Malin Kundang's mother as she gave him some food supplies. Yes, mother, Malin Kundang said. You too have to take a good care of yourself. I'll keep in touch with you, he continued before kissing his mother's hands. Before Malin stepped onto the ship, Malin's mother hugged him tight as if she didn't want to let him go. It had been 3 months since Malin Kundang left his mother. As his mother had predicted before, he hadn't contacted her yet. Every morning, she stood on the pier. She wished to see the ship that broke Malin Kundang's home. Every day and night, she prayed to God for her son's safety. There was so much prayer that had been said to for her sleep love for Malin Kundang. Even though it's been a year she hadn't heard any news from Malin Kundang, she kept waiting and praying for him. After several years waiting without any news, Malin Kundang's mother was suddenly surprised by the arrival of a big ship in the pier where she usually stood to bathe her son. When the ship finally pulled over, Malin Kundang saw a man who looked wealthy stepping down a ladder along with a beautiful woman. She could not be wrong. Her blurry eyes still easily recognized him. The man was Malin Kundang, her son. Malin Kundang's mother quickly went to see her beloved son. "Malin, you're back, son," said Malin Kundang's mother, and without hesitation, she came running to hug Malin Kundang. "I miss you so much." But Malin Kundang didn't show any response. He was ashamed to admit his own mother in front of his beautiful wife. "You're not my mother. I don't know you. My mother will never wear such ragged and ugly clothes," said Malin Kundang as he released his mother's embrace. Malin Kundang's mother took a step back. "Malin, you don't recognize me? I'm your mother," she said sadly. Malin Kundang's face was cold as ice. "Guard, take this old woman out of here," Malin Kundang ordered his bodyguard. "Give her some money so she won't disturb me again," Malin Kundang's mother cried as she was dragged by the bodyguard. "Malin, my son, why do you treat your own mother like this?" Malin Kundang ignored his mother and ordered the ship crew to set sail. Malin Kundang's mother sat alone in the pier. Her heart was so hurt. She cried and cried. "Dear God, if he isn't my son, please let him have a safe journey. But if he is, I curse him to become a stone," she prayed to the God. In the quiet sea, suddenly, the wind blew so hard and the thunderstorm came. Malin Kundang's hug ship was wrecked. He was thrown by the wave out of his ship and fell on a small island. Suddenly, his whole body turned into a stone. He was punished for not admitting his own mother. Well guys, the moral value from the Malin Kundang story is we must respect our parents because they are the most important person in the world. Thank you. See you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Aduh, bagus banget ya Kak Iva pesan moral dari Malin Kundang ini. Terus
Itu
dia kemas cara nyampeinnya bagus banget.
bener banget, jadinya kayak agak wayang-wayang gitu
Iya.
nggak sih Kak? Kayak main wayang ya. Oke, untuk peserta selanjutnya ini ada dari SMP Muhammadiyah Tigawaru atas nama Nur Sifa Zahra Fadli.
Hello, my name is Nur Sifa. I'm from Muhammadiyah Junior High School 3-1. You can call me Sifa. Now I will tell a story entitled The Clever Deer. One day, Mouse Deer took the river to drink, but he knew that crocodile must be waiting under the water to eat it. So he said aloud, I wonder if the water is warm. I'll work out and find out. The hare did not put his leg, of course, but he instead put one stick and into the water. Chop! The crocodile grabbed the stick and pulled it into the water. Mouse Deer laughed, ha ha ha, stupid crocodile, do you distinguish between a stick and a leg? Mouse Deer ran to drink somewhere else. In the next day, Mouse Deer wanted to cross the river. He wanted to eat some fruit across the river. But he knew and he saw a log floating on the water. He knew that crocodile looked like a log when he floated. So he has an idea. The hare did not want to be eaten by crocodile when he crossed the river. So he said loudly, crocodiles! Crocodile rose from the water. Hello, Mouse Deer, have you come to be my lunch? Mouse Deer smiled. Sorry, not today, crocodile. I have an order from the king. He wants to invite all the crocodiles in this river to join the party tonight. But Mouse Deer say again, he wants me to count all the crocodiles in this river so he can prepare enough food for you. Crocodile say, really? Tell us what to do. You have to land up from this side of the river to the other side, said Mouse Deer. Then the crocodile got all his friends and family to line up to the other side of the river. Crocodile said, 1, he come. To the next crocodile, 2, he kept jumping to the next crocodile. 3, Mouse Deer kept jumping until he got to the other side of the river. How many? Asked Crocodile. Enough, said Mouse Deer. He ran as he loved into the forest. Then when Crocodile realized that he tricked by Mouse Deer, he immediately shouted angrily, watch out for the reindeer, just wait for my revenge later. That's the end of the story, The Ingenuity Mouse Deer. I think that's enough from me. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you next time.
Gemes banget nih Kak Iva.
Iya nih Kak, suaranya tuh juga bikin kita nggak ngantuk tuh kan.
Technique-nya juga bagus ya Kak.
Bener banget. Oke, untuk peserta selanjutnya nih masih dari SMP Muhammadiyah Tigawaru nih Kak, atas nama Ega Pratista.
Assalamualaikum. Hello everyone. My name is Ega Pratista. You can call me Ega. I'm from Muhammadiyah Junior High School 3-1. In here, I want to tell a story about the ant and grasshopper. In one summer season's day, there was a grasshopper that was jumping around, chirping and singing to its heart's web content in an area. An ant passed by, bursting along with massive toil and ear of corn. He was saving to the nest. Hey, why do not you come as well as appreciate the day with me? Claimed the grasshopper. Rather than fighting constantly, I am most likely to lay up food for the following winter months. Stayed the ant. its way and also proceeded its toilet. When the winter time came, the insect didn't have any kind of food and discovered itself passing way of cravings. While it saw the ants playing daily, corn and grain from the stores they had actually collected before. Then the insect acknowledged it is best to prepare well for days of something we need in the future. That's all I can say, and thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum. Bye-bye.
Aku yang baca, kamu yang baca. Keren banget nih Kak ceritanya.
Iya nih, seru juga nih Kak ya cara dia menyampaikan. Iya, bener banget. Oke, untuk selanjutnya ini jenjang SMP terakhir nih Kak.
Siapa tuh?
Dari SMP Muhammadiyah 4 Surabaya atas nama Brilian Aulia Muhammad Adityama.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Brilian Aulia Muhammad Adityama. I'm from SMP Muhammadiyah 4 Surabaya. And now I will tell you a story about having a best friend. A story tells that two friends were walking through the desert. During some point of the journey, they had an argument, and one friend slapped the other one in the face. The one who got slapped was hurt, but without saying anything, rolled in the sand. Today, my best friend slapped me in the face. They kept on walking until they found an oasis, where they decided to take a bath. The one who had slapped got stuck in the mire and started drowning, but the friend saved him. After he recovered from the near drowning, he wrote on a stone, "Today, my best friend saved my life." The friend who had slapped and saved his best friend asked him, "After I hurt you, you won't understand, and now you write on a stone. Why?" The other friend replied, "When someone hurt us, we should write it down in the sand, where winds of forgiveness can erase it away. But when someone does something good for us, we must engrave it in stone, where no wind can ever erase it." So, we can see the moral of the story is, don't value the things you have in your life, but value who you have in your life. Thank you, hope you enjoy and like it. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Pembawaannya dia yang tenang itu bikin kita makin meresapi
Iya,
ceritanya
iya bener. Apalagi mukanya gemes-gemes gitu gak sih Kak? Ya Allah lucu banget. Oke, untuk selanjutnya nih udah jenjang SMA nih Kak, udah masuk SMA.
Cepet ya Kak ya?
Bener banget. Ini dari SMA 1 Porong Dita Atsa Adani.
Aduh, ya Allah.
Mukanya lucu banget.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, good morning audience. How are you today? I hope in this situation you'll be happy. I'm here to tell you about a nice story. But before that, I want to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Dita Atsadani. You can call me Dita. And I'm from Porong Senior High School. This story from Central Java. If you want to know this story, please listen to me. The title of this story is Timunas. We start from long time ago. In a small village, there was the old widow named Rhonda. She lived alone. Her husband was dead. She very wanted to have a child. So one day she met Buto Ijo to ask a child. Buto Ijo gave a cucumber seed, and Buto Ijo said, "If the cucumber seed was planted, it will grow to be a big cucumber, and there was a beautiful baby." Buto Ijo said again, "I want to take her when she was 16 years old." Mbok Rondo alone. Mbok Rondo come back to her house and planted a cucumber seed in front of her house. In the next day, she found a big cucumber, and when she was opened it, there was a beautiful baby named Timumas. Mbok Rondo holding and sang, "I love you love me. We are happy and loving with the great big heart and the kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too?" Timunas grew to be a beautiful lady. She was 16 years old. One day, her mom said, "Timunas, you must go. Buto Ijo wants to take you. Bring this cucumber seed, needle, salt, terasi, and go quickly." Timunas was very shocked. "Huh? What happened, Mom? I don't know. Please tell me." Mbok Rondo explained her meeting with Buto Ijo. Timunas said again, Okay, Mom. Don't worry. I go quickly." In the next day, Timunas went to the jungle. And after that, Buto Ijo came to Mbok Rondo's house. "Where your child?" I don't know." "Don't lie. You must keep your promise." And after that, Buto Ijo looked Timunas running to the jungle. And Buto Ijo said, "Don't run, Timun! Don't run!" "Run, Timun! Run! Run, Timun!" In the jungle, Timunas was very scared. So when Buto Ijo found her, first she threw a cucumber seed, and a cucumber seed became a cucumber seed. Buto Ijo very interested to cucumber, but Buto Ijo didn't give up. He decided to take Timunas. So suddenly, Timunas threw a needle, and the needle became blood. His feet were wounded and bled brighter by the bombs. But then, Buto Ijo wasn't tired. He kept chasing her. And then, Timunas threw a cow. And a cow became a seed. Yeah, Buto Ijo kept chasing her. So finally, Timunas threw a terasi. And suddenly, and Buddha itu was dead. So, and then they must come back to her house and live the happiness with her mom. Finally, we get to the end of this story. So, audience, what we can learn from this story? Okay. I will tell you. The moral of this story is, every problem there was a way out. If we want to train and pray when facing it. Therefore, with faith, with challenge or obstacles, we must keep trying with the all ability to overcome them. And always remember to pray and ask to the God. Audience, thanks for your attention. If you found many mistakes, please forgive me. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ya Allah. Waduh, cara dia menceritakan, memperagakan nih, cara dia memperagakan yang dia ceritain keren banget ya Kak.
Iya, ekspresinya tuh dapet banget gak sih Kak? Oke, yang selanjutnya nih ada dari SMA Lab School Jakarta. Atas nama Andini Naila Hansarania.
Hello everyone, my name is Andini Naila Hansarania. I'm from SMA Lab School Jakarta, and today I'll be bringing everyone here with me to a story that takes place in the west coast of Sumatra, a popular legend in Indonesia. And this is the legend of Malin Kundang. A long time ago, in the west coast of Sumatra, lived a poor woman and her son named Malin Kundang. They lived in poverty, as fishing was only their main source of income. But due to that though, Malin Kundang grew up to be such a skillful young boy, as he helps his mother every day, working, earning food and money for them. But just relying on becoming a fisherman's helper doesn't help with their condition, as they continue to suffer to live in poverty. Until one day though, Malin Kundang was offered a job from a successful crew of a ship. He offered him a job to join them sailing overseas, so he can earn more money for him and his mother. He was very excited about this offer, and obviously he ran home to show his mother this news. "Mother, what if I set sail overseas?" said Malin Kundang. Malin Kundang's mother obviously didn't agree to this. She was scared about how dangerous it would be. But Malin Kundang had made up his mind. "Mother, if I stay here forever, I can't be a successful person. I want to make you proud. I want to make you happy. I want to free us from poverty, Mother, please," urged Malin Kundang. Then Malin Kundang's mother reacted in tears while wiping them themselves. "If that's what you want, son, then I can't stop you. I can only pray to God to give you protection and for you to gain success in life," said Malin Kundang's mother wisely. "But Malin, promise me you'll come back home, okay? Okay, son?" So, the next day, they arrived at the pier to say her last goodbye to Malin Kundang. "Take a good care of yourself, son," said Malin Kundang's mother while giving him food supplies for his trip. "Yes, Mother, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. You too, take good care of yourself. And I promise I'll keep in touch with you. Don't worry, Mother. I love you so much. I miss you," said Malin Kundang while he continued to step onto the ship. But before he can do that, Malin Kundang's mother hugged him as tight as she could, as if she didn't want to let him go sailing. But in the end, he eventually did.
Weeks went by without any news, just as predicted, as Malim Kundang's mother had. But then she still prayed every day and night, thousands of prayers being said due to the big amount of love she has for him. Every morning, she stood at the edge of the pier, waiting and waiting, hoping that the ship would bring Malim Kundang home safely back to her again. Weeks become months, and months become years, and still nothing from him. But even by then, she still waited and prayed for him every day. Several years went by, and people were start talking. People were crowding and talking about this huge ship coming to their island. And people were even rumoring that the owner of the ship is Malim Kundang. So, Malim Kundang's mother was very excited by this news. She was very delighted because this was the only great news she ever heard from Malim Kundang. So she waited at the edge of the pier. And finally, the huge ship arrived. She couldn't believe her eyes. She can see this wealthy-looking man with his beautiful wife next to him, walking down the ladder of the ship to the pier. She can't be wrong. Her blurry eyes still can easily recognize him. "This is Malim Kundang. This is my son," she said. Then without hesitation, she ran as fast as she could and hugged Malim Kundang as tight as she could. Well, then she continued to say, "Malim, I miss you so much. Where have you been, son? I miss you so much, God. Thank you for listening to my prayers," said Malim Kundang's mother in happiness. But then, Malim Kundang was too ashamed to admit his own mother in front of his beautiful wife. So he yelled at his own mother, "No, you're not my mother. Get away from me." He even kicked his own mother. "My mother would wear such dirt and filthy clothes like yours. Guards, take this woman away from me. And please give her some money so she won't be next to me anymore. And don't even let her see my face or talk to me. Please, now." But then, Malim Kundang's mother was very confused of what was happening. She took a step back and asked, "Malim, don't you recognize me? I'm your mother, Malim. You promised to keep in touch and come home to me. How could you treat me like this? Guards, now, please get this woman away from me now. Then after that, we'll go back sailing to the seas." Then Malim Kundang's mother was left alone at the pier. Malim Kundang continued to sail overseas after that. As I said, Malim Kundang's mother was left alone, hurt, heartbroken. So then he walked to the edge of the pier, sat down and prayed to God, "God, if that man really isn't my son, then I hope for a safety journey for him. But if that man is Malim Kundang, my son, I've waited and prayed for him. How could he repay me like this? How could he treat me like this? God, please. That heartless man, I curse him into stone. I curse him into stone." So, on the quiet sea, the wind blew so hard with a thunderstorm, wrecking Malim Kundang's ship apart. The whole crew and ship sank to the bottom of the sea, while Malim Kundang's body was slashed into a small island. Then he saw this flash coming towards his body. He was very confused of what was happening. And then he said, "What's happening? What's happening? My feet! My feet! Why can I feel my feet? Mother! Mother! Mother, I'm sorry! Mother, I'm sorry! Mother, I'm sorry! I beg forgiveness from you, Mother! in the stone while he was begging for forgiveness to his mother. And this is the result of being such a rebellious kid to our parents, especially our mothers. The end. Thank you.
Actingnya super bagus banget nih kak.
Iya benar. Tadi juga efek angin-anginnya itu ya kak ya.
Kita yang di studio makin semangat.
Iya,
apalagi sobat tekstur yang di rumah nih pasti.
Iya pastinya masih pada semangat dong semuanya.
Selanjutnya nih Kak Iva siapa nih?
Selanjutnya nih ada dari SMA Negeri 1 Giri Banyuwangi kak, atas nama Rizka Anisha Fira.
Sik si batu manikam di parjoget sana manigotam di manggang si mambangka jula jula si mambangka jula jula. Sik si batu manikam di parjoget sana manigotam di manggang si mambangka jula jula si mambangka jula jula. Hello and hi everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rizka Anisha Fira and I'm a student of 1 Giri Senior High School, Banyuwangi. Today I've got a wonderful story for you. Yes, as the song says, you must know that the song is from North Sumatra, right? Correct. Well, in this nice occasion, I'm gonna tell you the origin of a very popular tourist destination in North Sumatra. Yes, Toba is the biggest lake in our country and has an incredible story regarding to the origin of its name. Would you like to know the story? Well, don't worry, just relax, have a seat and don't go anywhere. Here is the legend of Lake Toba. Ladies and gentlemen, happy watching! Once upon a time, in a small village in North Sumatra, there lived a fisherman named Toba. Toba lived all alone because his parents had already long gone. And sadly, until that day, Toba had not been married yet. But ladies and gentlemen, Toba was such a hardworking man. Every day, he went to the river in his village to catch the fish. One lovely morning, Toba went to the river as usual. After waiting for a long time, finally, Toba got something. Well, it was a big fish, a beautiful fish. Yes, I've got a fish, I've got a fish. Ladies and gentlemen, after getting a fish, Toba put it into a bucket full of water and he decided to go home. Arriving at home, Toba wanted to cook the fish for his lunch. However, when Toba held the fish and looked into its eyes, Toba took a pity. Oh, what a lovely fish! I don't think I can eat it for my lunch. Let me keep this fish. Besides, I can eat something else anyway, said Toba, and he put the fish back into a bucket. The next day, Toba went fishing as usual. After waiting for a long time, it was not his lucky day. Toba didn't get any fish, and he decided to go home. Toba planned to cook the fish that he caught yesterday. However, when Toba checked the fish in the bucket, he found nothing. Instead, he found a beautiful lady in his kitchen, and Toba was so surprised. Don't be afraid, Toba. I'm the fish you caught yesterday. I'm very thankful that you have saved me and didn't eat me for your lunch. For your kindness, I will help you to do anything, Toba, said the lady. Since that day, the young lady lived with Toba, helping him cooking and taking care of his house. Time passed by, and Toba fell in love with a young lady. One day, Toba proposed her, and she said, "Okay, Toba, I'm willing to be your wife, but you have to promise me that someday, if we have children, never tell them about my origin, okay? Remember, Toba, the very bad thing will happen if you tell about my secret." "Of course, my dear, I promise you." And so, Toba and the young lady got married. Their lives soon became happier after the arrival of a baby boy named Samosir. But ladies and gentlemen, as a child, Samosir never helped his parents at all. All he could do was just playing along with his friends all day long. What a terrible son! One day, his mother said, "Samosir, my son, bring this lunch to your father. He is surely waiting right now, okay?" "Yes, mother." But ladies and gentlemen, Samosir forgot his duty. On his way, Samosir met his friends and he stopped to play around. Samosir even ate his father's lunch after playing tightly. Oh, no! Meanwhile, Toba was starving and thirsty, waiting for him. He was ready and waiting for his lunch impatiently. It's been afternoon and my lunch hasn't come yet. And so, Toba decided to go home. But surprisingly, on his way, Toba saw Samosir eating up his lunch hungrily. "Oh, Samosir, what are you doing? Don't you know that I'm starving and thirsty waiting for you?" "Oh my God, how dare you eat up my lunch, Samosir? You never listen to your parents. You damn son of a fish!" said Toba angrily. Ladies and gentlemen, Toba couldn't control himself and he made a terrible mistake. Samosir ran home and told his mother, Mother, is it true that I'm the son of a fish?" Samosir's mother was very sad hearing this. She never imagined that her husband would break his promise. "Oh, my son, I'm so sorry. This is the last time I can see you. Now, save yourself first. Run as fast as you could. Go to the hill, Samosir. Go!" Suddenly, the sky was getting dark. Thunder was blasting so wildly and it rained so hard. Slowly, the river was overflowing and sinking the village. Meanwhile, the mother turned herself back into a fish. Toba and all the villagers were drowning dead. It was only Samosir who was safe. He reached the top of the hill just before the flood sank the village. And that was how the story told long ago. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend said that the singing village then turned into a lake which is known as Lake Toba. And the hill in the middle of the lake then turned into an island which is known as Samosir Island. And today, Lake Toba has become a global geopark with annual festivals and cultural attractions like Sigali Carnival, Ulos Art Exhibition, Solo Balloon Boat Race, and the Bata Drum Festival. It is also believed that there's a big goldfish living in Lake Toba, which is sacred and regarded as the incarnation of Samosir's mother. Wow, what a wonderful story, isn't it? Well, everyone, from the story we can learn that we should never let anger control over us. And the most important is never break a promise. If we are given a trust, we must always keep it as a mandate. So please, never ever let down the people who trust us. Well, as good citizens, we should be proud and respect our local cultures. And we must preserve them very well, in hope that the next generation will be able to enjoy it in the future. So, let's love our cultures more than ever. Long live Indonesia!
Marahnya keren banget ya Kak Iva ya.
Iya, iya, ekspresif banget gak sih Kak?
Terus kita jadi dikenalin budaya-budaya di Sumatera Utara.
Iya,
ya,
bener banget. Apalagi background-backgroundnya tadi itu juga
menarik
kayak
banget ya.
menarik banget. Oke, untuk peserta selanjutnya ini dari SMA Negeri 3 Sidoarjo atas nama Angela Febiola.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, hello everyone. I'm Angela Fabiola and I'm from High School 3 of Sidoarjo. And today I'm going to tell you a story. The title of the story is The Future of the Present. And it's written by Marini Venkataraman. I hope you enjoy. It was a sunny Sunday noon. Pinky and Chotu were getting bored. They had watched enough of television and had finished their homework too. Just then, Chotu remembered about his remote control car book years ago. He quickly ran to the storage room and looked for his car. Pinky also followed him and joined in the search. As they were looking for the car, Pinky found a rusty and dusty old thing which resembled the remote of Chotu's car. Chotu, look what I found! Doesn't this look like my car's remote? But wait, this looks strange. Why are these tiny buttons here? Wait, Chotu, don't do anything. Let's take it to Dad and show him, said Pinky. I wonder what happens if I press this, said Chotu, touching the button inquisitively. Don't! Shouted Pinky wearily. Too late, Chotu jabbed the button with his fingers. They both felt dizzy. The only thing they saw now was black and green on black and green. Their heads swirled and they fainted instantly. Only to regain consciousness when sharp piercing rays of sun hit their eyes, rubbing their eyes. They were surprised to look at their surroundings. They were really new to them. No wonder they were in a completely new place. What place is this, Pinky? Chotu looked around curiously. And what's this? They saw a big steel castle with a strange machine sticking out. The two of them stood in front of the massive doors, green, blue, and red in color. They didn't know which door to enter. They chose the blue door. The door opened up to a vast deserted land. The place was so empty. No sign of people. It was all deserted, and the trees were hardly visible. There were only some tall, thorny bushes. They stepped inside the door. How terrible, Chotu said to Pinky. There's no green here at all. I wonder what place is this? Where have we come? When Pinky turned her head, she saw a huge shadow cast over them. A monster! stammered Chotu. Both froze in terror for a second and then started to run. The monster chased them in whatever direction they ran. Soon, both of them were so tired that they couldn't move anymore. Panting and breathing heavily, they stood in front of the monster, helpless. They looked closely at it and saw that it was made of junk, electronic waste, and all kinds of garbage, and it stank. Yuck! Please, don't do anything to us, begged Pinky. Laughed the monster loudly. I am Garbage Monster, and I'm created by you, the humans. You dumped all your waste on the earth, cut down trees, polluted its beauty, threw electronic waste, and created your own concrete jungles. And here I am, as the result of all your reckless behavior and carelessness. Both of them were speechless and bowed down their heads in shame. There was a complete silence for a while. Yes, stammered Chotu. We are ashamed of our behavior And now we realize the effect of our action and responsibility and our failure to save the earth. Please leave us and let us go. We will see to it that hereafter everyone will take care of our environment and be responsible citizens. That's not enough. Who do I believe you selfish humans? Bird the monster. Please believe us. We won't exploit our nature anymore. We have seen the effect of our actions. We have seen the state of the earth in the future if we continue to exploit Earth. As they were speaking to the monster, a strong air blew both of them back to their room. Rubbing their eyes, they realized they had actually traveled ahead in time. So what they had witnessed was the state of the earth in the future if humans didn't protect the environment from pollution and dumping waste. Said Chotu, wiping sweat and coming back to reality. Wasn't that very scary, Chotu? Of course. We should do something on our part to save the earth. I have an idea. Why don't we take a pledge to help protect our earth? That's a great idea, Pinky. They quickly sat with a pen and paper and started writing their pledge. They stood in front of their favorite Ganesha and read aloud their pledge. We, Pinky and Chotu, hereby pledge from this moment on to help protect our environment by 1. Not using plastic carry bags, 2. Not littering our surroundings, 3. Planting trees and make our surroundings cleaner and greener, 4. No wasting water and trying to save it, 5. Using only eco-friendly goods. Insisting to our friends and relatives to follow these methods and help our earth cleaner, greener, and safer. They went to their friends to tell about their experience and spread their wonderful pledge. The end. So, you see, every action in our life has its consequences. Even if we can't feel the effects right now, doesn't mean that it won't come in the near future, because climate clock is ticking. So let's not disappoint all children and start making action right now. We all can find small ways to be more eco-friendly. And don't forget, every action matters. I'm Angela Fabiola, and thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Amanat yang kita bisa petik bagus banget ya Kak Iva.
Iya benar banget, dan bisa kita buat pelajaran ke depannya ya Kak ya.
Mana lancar lagi cara dia menceritakan.
Iya, dan ekspresinya tuh dapat banget tuh.
Bener banget.
Oke, untuk selanjutnya yaitu dari SMA Muhammadiyah 2 Sidoarjo, Angelina Diva.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello. My name is Angelina Diva Sahsuyanto. Here I would like to tell you a story from West Kalimantan, and the title is Crying Stone. I hope you like it. Long time ago, in a small village, there lived a mother and her daughter, Darmi. She was very beautiful, but she had very bad behavior. Every day, she just looked at the mirror to admire her own beauty, while her mother had to work hard to support their life. If her mother asked her for help, Darmi refused. Will you help me at the field now? No, I don't want to go there. I'm afraid my skin turns dark. One day, Darmi asked her mother to buy new face powder. At first, her mother rejected her request because she didn't have enough money. Mom! Mom! Where are you, Mom? Mom! Where are you? Mom! I want to buy new face powder. Please, I want to buy it now. I will go to the market with you. But please, you have to walk behind me. Okay? Don't forget, you must to walk behind me. Behind me. On the way to the market, a man greeted them. Hey, pretty lady. Who's behind you? Is that your mother? No, she is not my mother. She is just my, yes, it's just my servant. Along the street, Tiny always said if her mother was her servant. Finally, her mother angry, and she prayed to the God. Lord, help me, Lord. Punish her! Punish her! Punish her! At that time, Danny couldn't move her feet anymore. Ouch. Oh no! Oh no! What happened with my legs? What happened with me? What happened with me? Mom, where are you? Mom, where are you? Mom, help me please. Oh no! Oh no! Mom, forgive me. Please forgive me. Mom, forgive me, please. Her mother was very sad to see what happened with her daughter, but she couldn't do anything else. Finally, the whole body became stone. Until now, people can still see her tears. That was why this stone called Crying Stone. The moral value is respect our mother as she does to us. Thank you for your attention. See you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waduh, teriakan peserta tadi benar-benar menggelarkan satu studio nih.
Iya, bener banget. Jadinya kita tambah semangat ya Kak ya.
Apalagi yang di rumah nih.
Iya pastinya. Ini udah masuk ke peserta terakhir nih Kak.
Cepet banget ya Iva.
Iya, gak kerasa banget ya.
Iya.
Ini ya, peserta terakhir dari SMKN 2 Purwakarta, Disha Sopianti.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello friends, my name is Disha. I'm from SMK Negeri 2 Purwakarta. And today, I'm going to tell you a story. This story is about the Roro genre. So, are you curious? And let's get started. Roro genre. Once upon a time, there was a kingdom named Prambanan. All the people in Prambanan live peacefully. But then, Prambanan was attacked and occupied by the Penjurian kingdom. Prambanan then was ruled by Bandu Bondowoso. He was the main king. He had a great supernatural power. His soldiers were not only humans, but also Chinese. The king of Prambanan Keturunan had a beautiful daughter named Roro Jongra. Roro Jongra is a very beautiful. Bandung Bondowoso fell in love with her and wanted to marry her. Roro Jongra was shocked after hearing that. She didn't like Bandung Bondowoso because he was a mean person. She wanted to refuse, but she afraid that Bandung Bondowoso would be angry and endanger the people of Prambanan. But she came up with a plan.
If you want to marry me, you have to build 1,000 temples for me. But it's a night, said Roro Jongra.
What? That's impossible, said Bandung Bondowoso. But he didn't give up. So Bandung Bondowoso summoned his entire Chinese soldiers and commanded them to help him build 1,000 temples. All the Chinese worked in unbelievable speed. Meanwhile, Roro Jongra heard from her servant that the building of 1,000 temples was almost finished. She was so worried. But again, she came up with a great idea. She asked all of her servants to help her. Please, prepare a lot of straw and mortar. Let's hurry up, said Roro Jongra. Burn the straw and make some like spawning the mortar. Quickly! All the servants did what Roro Jongra ordered them. Burn the straw and make some like spawning the mortar. Make the Jenny think that the sun is going to rise. It's already done. We have to go. The sun is going to rise, said the leader of the Chinese. All the Chinese immediately stopped their work and ran for cover from the sun, which they afraid of. They didn't know that the light was from the fire that burning the straw, not from the sun. Bandung Bondowoso can't stop the Chinese from leaving. He was angry. He knew Roro Jongra had to strike him. You cannot fool me, Roro Jongra. I already have 999 temples. I just need one more temple. No! I will make you do 1,000 temples, said Bandung Bondowoso. He pointed his finger to Roro Jongra's body and said some mantras. Magically, Roro Jongra's body turned into stone. Until now, the temple is still standing in Prambanan area, Central Java. The temple is called Roro Jongra Temple. So guys, that's the end from the story. Thank you for listening. I hope you can take the value of the story. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.
Roro Jongrang itu kayak legenda lama yang bikin kita makin menarik ya dengan
Iya, bener banget. Apalagi itu kayak sejarah dengan candi-candi ya Kak ya. Wah, gak terasa nih Kak, ini tadi tuh udah peserta terakhir nih. Berarti
iya nih, Kak Iva.
hari ini penjuriannya udah selesai dong.
Gak kerasa banget ya apa?
Iya, gak kerasa banget. Oke, buat teman-teman, jangan lupa besok tetap ada penjurian hari ketiga, yaitu penjurian cabang Hizbul Waton. Lombanya Kak Saira tahu nggak kira-kira apa aja?
Tuh?
Ada semafor, yel-yel dan sebagainya. Jadi buat kalian yang mengikuti lomba-lomba tersebut jangan lupa ditonton live YouTube-nya ya.
Di YouTube SMAMDA Sidoarjo ya,
Iya,
Kak Iva?
sama dong. Untuk info jamnya bakalan kita infoin juga di Instagram. Jadi jangan lupa buat kalian yang belum follow Instagram @tekstur2k21 jangan lupa di follow ya. Biar nggak ketinggalan info-info terbaru nih.
Bener banget. Dan aku juga mau ingetin nih Kak Iva, kalau misalnya hari Selasa tanggal 15 Juni bakalan ada awarding dari semua juara-juara nih. Ada 3 ortum tadi yang sebelumnya TS sekarang IPM besok HW
Iya.
bakalan diumumin pada hari Selasa tanggal 15 Kak Iva.
Waduh, pasti gak sabar banget nih kayak denger siapa sih juara-juaranya nih kira-kira. Oke, buat teman-teman,
terima kasih.
Terima kasih, sekian dari saya. Nuhun wal kalam wal maisturun fastabiqul khairat. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.